Hi, teammates. Welcome to the Eurostep. I'm your host, as usual, Sean J. McCall, and welcome to another episode where we look behind the scenes of the wonderful and sometimes wild world of European basketball. For those of you that are here for the first time, if you check down in the bottom of your screen, you should see a question mark with a speech bubble. If you want to type in a question for Javontae or myself or whatever, then please do so there, and I'll be sure to check in occasionally, and I'll try to get those questions answered while we're on live. So thank you very much for coming. Let's get started. My guest for tonight's episode is currently playing for the Telekom Baskets Bonn in the Easy Credit Basketball Bundesliga here in Germany. That's the first league. Javontae Harris is 28 years old from Flint, Michigan, and it is his fourth real season overseas. I say real. I'll talk about that a little bit later, why I say it's his real fourth season. We'll talk about the highs and lows of his high school, his collegiate, and his pro career till now. We'll also discuss how he overcame a knee injury to return to his very high level of form that he's playing at right now. We'll talk love and basketball and much, much more. So let me get my guest in here. Any minute, any second. Make sure everything's set. What's good, man?
My guy, what's going on with you?
What's up, man? Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you having me, man.
So, at first, like I always like to tell everybody how we know each other. And as usual, I think I've only had one guest so far that I knew personally, that I actually interacted with personally, and you're
Right.
you're no different. So, yeah, it's a case of course, with the internet, you can get in touch with people that you wouldn't normally have a chance to, and that's why I hit you up and added you because I like your game. I like what you're doing on the court. I'm an old head, so I watch what the young guys are doing, and
Right.
I think all the time I couldn't have done that. So, so it's nice to see the young guys doing their thing, and I really appreciate you really coming on and being ready to talk to my teammates and tell your story.
Man, I'm honored to be on here, bro. I appreciate you having me.
No problem, man. So let's get right to it. So basically, how it'll go is I'll ask you some normal questions, and
Mhm.
feel free to say what you like. You know, share what you like. You have no time limit on your answers or anything like that. Just
Okay.
flow free, feel free, and confidence is just an easy conversation between two ballers.
Right.
And yeah, and so we'll give some good information out to the people and let them know how you are as a person as well. Then after those normal questions, then I'll have a little overtime round where I'll ask kind of like simple, quick hitter questions,
Okay.
and then that'll be it. I'll try to also infuse this with questions from the fans,
Okay.
um, and but I'll let you know when we're doing that as well. So that's right. Get that drink because you're about to start talking. So,
Yeah, I gotta get that tea going,
so
man.
let's go. Let's start off with your high school and college years. I read that you were a really big deal in high school, right? So
Mm,
after being selected all state um, as a junior, which is a pretty huge accomplishment, and especially in Michigan,
yeah.
um, you left Flint and you went to a prep school in West Virginia.
Hmm.
I can imagine that at 17 years old, 17, 18 years old, to leave the city of Flint, the city, to
Yeah.
go somewhere, I don't even know where that is in West Virginia for the next 2 years would be pretty difficult. How was that experience for you, and how did you adjust being so young to leaving home for the first time?
I mean, first, I was a late bloomer, so I didn't start playing basketball really until eighth grade. And my experience in high school, first I went to Flint Beecher for my freshman year, and had a pretty good, decent freshman year. It was on varsity. I think that's everybody's goal,
Right.
coming out of the inner city, just to play varsity as a freshman. So, but I transferred to Powers Catholic High School, which is still like, in the hood, but it was a Catholic private high school where the education was the first thing foremost, So my
True.
parents really wanted me to get out of the inner city with the kids, just getting in trouble. and stuff like that, and wanted me to go to a school where it was based on not only just athletics, but academics as well. So, and that was a really maturing stage of my high school and career and life in general, being 16 years old. And, you know, at Powers, I had successes there as well. Like you said, being an All-State as a junior, being a top 100 recruit, and playing with some of the best talent in the state of Michigan on a high school team and an AAU. And lo and behold, I had found they found interest in me, Huntington Prep, in Huntington, West Virginia. They found interest in me in an AAU tournament, I think in Akron, Ohio, the King James Classic. That's what it was. And they reached out. It was out of them or Brewster Academy. So
Brewster's also powerhouse.
So a guy from Flint, he was like the #2 point guard in the class of 2007 at the time, behind Brandon Jennings. I think it was 2007. I may be wrong, but his name was Anthony Crater, and he went to Brewster Academy, so they had Flint ties as well.
Right.
On the other hand, Huntington Prep was just the up-and-coming prep school, not really known as much from a national level, but they were up-and-coming with the talent. So going there was a shocker, man. Like leaving Flint was like all I knew was Flint. I knew was Flint basketball, Flint this, Flint that. And, you know, besides going to AAU tournaments, like actually living in an apartment by myself with other 17-year-olds, it was shocking, you know. And obviously my mom, you know, she didn't want me to go at first, like, you know, just, you know, her nature. But my dad really, he's really like that guy who I looked up to. I looked up to other guys that played ball, but like my dad was the guy that really, you know, helped me with that decision, because it really groomed me to become a young man, you know. And Huntington was all that you can ever imagine. We had the #1 draft pick on our team of 2014, Andrew Wiggins. We had Elijah Macon, who went to West Virginia, Negus Webster Chan, who went to Mizzou, Stefan Yankovic, who played with Miami Heat for a little bit. We had Xavier Rattan-Mays, who plays in Australia now. So we had some top-tier talent. Like our practices, you get Coach K in there, you got North Carolina in there, you got Coach Cal in there, you got all these top basketball
the guys you see on TV,
man, you know. And I never met those guys, so just being in our practice was like, man, like it was just a blessing to just be in that atmosphere. And I still like talk to those guys weekly to this day, and it's been 10 years. So that was a great experience. And even shout out to Coach Rob Fulford and Arkell Bruce. Those are my coaches. And that was just an amazing experience to go there. And it really, really helped me groom into a young man, especially being on my own.
Right. So you mentioned this before. You were rated like 96 in the whole country.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are not familiar with American basketball and rankings, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, if you're top 100, you're definitely on the cusp of being a pretty good college player. So how was the recruiting process, and how did you end up at USF, University of South Florida?
So the recruiting process was very long, very hectic. Initially, I was recruited real heavily by the University of Michigan. And another reason why I left Flint so early was I had two brothers that were murdered due to gun violence, one in 2007 and another in 2010.
Right.
So and then I had a lot of friends that were in a lot of, you know, activity that wasn't basketball, you know, that were a lot of street activity and stuff like that. So
you needed to go.
I needed to go, you know. So, and what's crazy, I really wanted to go to Michigan. Like they were on me heavy. I was the first to get offered out the 2012 class. And it was just one of those difficult things. Like, you know, I just got to get away. I needed to be away, you know, to grow, you know, and to mature. You know, I don't think I would have flourished. I don't know, but I don't think I would have flourished if I would have chose to stay home in Michigan, because it'd be just too close. But the recruitment part, I had Big East, Big Ten, Pac-12. It was Pac-10, but turned to the Pac-12.
Right.
SEC, like all type of schools. But coming to USF, it's that Flint connection again with Stan Heath and Mateen Cleave, Charlie Bell, Antonio Smith, Morris Peterson, all those guys that was at Michigan State. Stan Heath was the assistant coach. He used to come to Flint, recruit them, and those were his recruits. So then he recruited me real heavily, and we had a great relationship. And I really thought that school would have been the best for me as far as athletically and personal growth, because it was so far away from home. But also it was the Big East. The Big East was, and I'm talking the real Big East, not the little East right now. Like the Big East, like, we were like, it was no nights off, man. It was no nights off. Yeah. You talking about as an 18-year-old, you going to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Then you got to go from Syracuse to UConn to Rutgers. Rutgers not a slouch. Rutgers to DePaul to Cincinnati. You know, so I mean, I was up for the challenge, and you know, I really held my own my freshman year.
So you stayed at USF 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. Then you transferred to Eastern Kentucky. So we're going to follow this trend right now. So you moved from Flint to West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Then you moved from West Virginia to South Florida. Mm-hmm. Now you're moving from South Florida to Eastern Kentucky.
Yep, Richmond, Kentucky. Yep, Eastern Kentucky. Yep.
How did that come about?
So
because you actually had a pretty solid sophomore year as well.
I mean, my sophomore year wasn't as good as compared to my freshman year. We really I was the highest rated to ever sign at USF, coming out of high school. So it was a real big thing, and we really had. It was me and my guy Zach Leday, who plays in I think he plays in Serbia right now. And we were the only two freshmen, so we were there with other guys that were older, you know. So we didn't really. It was just a difficult group, but and then we both transferred. He went to Virginia Tech after our sophomore year. I went to East Kentucky, but that came about with a friend from Flint, Glenn Cozy, who plays in at Pedesteri right now in Greece. He dominated at Eastern Kentucky, and the coach was like, I could have went to big school. I could have went back to Michigan. University of Michigan wanted me, but I just I want to go to mid-major. You know, I want to go back to humble beginnings. I want to go back to where I'm not spoiled. I want to go somewhere where I got to really get it out the mud.
Grind.
You know what I'm saying? So
you're from Flint, so you know how to grind.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to go back to my roots, kind of. You know, no practice gym. They had a gym upstairs, but it wasn't a practice gym. You know, so. Glenn Cozy, the coach, had reached out to him, and Jeff Neubauer, and said, "Hey, is he transferring?" And Glenn hit me up and said, "Yeah, I'm looking to transfer." And I said, "Man," he said, "the coach he'll let you, go do your thing there." So then I went there. I had to sit out, obviously, to the NCAA rules, and I prepared myself like a pro. That's the year, my sit out year. I was in the gym every day. I'm talking about before class, after class, at night, 3 times a day.
Getting your grind on like you wanted.
And it paid off coming into that year eligibility. So
exactly. So that's what I want to talk about, because you had a really good season.
Yeah.
That season at Eastern Kentucky. But let's follow the trend. You leave Eastern Kentucky after a really good year. And you go then to the University of Fordham. How did that happen after having such a good year?
Yeah, but it's crazy because a lot of people don't ask me that. They just assume oh, why he leaving? He just and it's really a interesting story behind it. So I said, Jeff Neubauer and Rodney Crawford, who was the associate head coach there, they both recruited me to Eastern Kentucky. And then my sit out year, they left to Fordham coming into my
Okay.
year of eligibility.
Okay.
So I was stuck with, I ain't gonna say his name. I was stuck with a certain coach.
You were stuck with a coaching staff that didn't really, that you
Really,
weren't there for.
really the head coach. It
Right.
was the head coach because the assistant coach, they were perfect. I still talk to them to this day. Michael Bradley, who played at the University of Kentucky, he played with the 76ers and Toronto Raptors, and I'm pretty sure you know Reese Gaines, who went to the University of Louisville. Those guys, they helped me become a pro, you know, and they really took me under their wing. But me and the head coach really didn't see, you know, eye to eye. But and like I had a successful season, you know, I had a successful year, and it was we didn't win as many games as we thought we could have with that roster. We had guys like Nick Mayo, who's killing it in Japan right now, Jarrell Rochelle, who's from Germany. So we had a really great core, you know, but
but then you decided to bounce.
I didn't want to leave, but I was like, because I didn't want people to feel like that I was, you know, just transferring here and there. But then I was like, you know, it's best for me. You know,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. You got to do what's best for you.
Exactly. And I had the full support of my dad. Like I said, my dad was there every step of the way. I had the full support of him, and he supported me. And I didn't even take no more visits when I transferred. I told him, like, yo, I'm coming to Fordham. I'm about to graduate. I'm going to be a graduate transfer. I'm coming to Fordham because I really wanted to play for you, you know. And, you know, and at Fordham, I had a great successful individual year, but we didn't do as good as a team. But we did have some key wins in Rhode Island, against VCU, against UMass. So we did have some really key wins. And it was just, you know, going there and even being in that atmosphere in New York, you know, it was just like, it was a culture shock too. Cause like, it was like so many people, and then you in the Bronx, and then you in a gated community, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like the whole school gated, but once you go out,
you're in the real world.
You're in the real world. So it's like, but that was a blessing too, just to play for a coach that I really, really had a relationship with and still do to this day. So that was a blessing for real.
Okay, so your season is over. Now I want to talk about agents. Did you have guys knocking at your door, or did you have to look for your own agent? So before you came over to Europe, how was that?
I had guys knocking on my door, but I didn't have guidance on agents. I didn't really have like proper guidance as far as like what to look for. You know what I'm saying? So I signed with a European agent coming out, and you know, he got me a great job in Finland my first year. So, and it was top league Finland with one of the best teams. So, and that was a really good start. Like,
we're gonna get to Finland in a second. I want to go back to the agents, because that's the one thing that in all that I'm doing now with these interviews and talking to players and with my book, that I'm realizing that a lot of players, when they left college, they were not adequately prepared either by their agent or the people that were around them for what was coming when they went to Europe. So, I mean, I told you I'm going to send you the book. But that's why I wrote this book, to give people some guidance. And I'm sure when you read it, you'll be like, yo, if I had this when I first came out, I might have made a decision or two different. But that's not the point. The point is that, did you feel adequately prepared for coming over here? I mean, whatever agent you signed with or whatever agents you talked with, were they giving you more information than just the dollars and cents? You're going to make this much here, you're going to make that much there. Were they preparing you for lifestyle, taxes, everything like that? Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. It was foreign to me because, like, you know, my dream is to play in the NBA. You know,
of course,
coming out, and I was so close to playing for the Knicks summer league. Coming out, I was supposed to play on the team, but they chose a veteran. I made the last decision, like the last minute decision. They chose a veteran instead of me, and then that's when I really, you know, was like, okay, I'm ready to go overseas, you know.
Right. That's normal.
But I wasn't prepared. Like, only time I was prepared was hearing about it from like friends that were already over here, or like I would call them my OGs, like people that like William Hatcher, Greg. I don't know if you know Greg Burks, who he played in Germany as well. Thad McFadden, like those guys, like they're older than me, and they were preparing me like for the basketball side, but I didn't get prepared like for taxes or just life in general. You know, it was just all about like, all right, this is what you signed for, and you're gonna go here. Then you win here, you make an opportunity to play at a bigger league and stuff like that. So that was my whole like that was in my mind. I didn't know what to expect really.
I mean, it's normal if a kid is just coming out of college, he's 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
His goal is to focus on NBA or bust, right? Nobody, let's be honest, nobody wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, goes and hits the gym, gets shots up before school, things like that, thinking, yeah, I'm doing this because I want to go to Europe. Nobody does.
I was just telling my wife about that. We were just having a conversation about that the other day. Just talking about like nobody really wakes up and be like, I'm about to put in work to go to Europe.
Exactly.
You know, like
exactly. But that's the thing is there's no problem with having that focus on the NBA, but there's a lot of money to be made over here. There's a lot of life to be made over here, and I think it's partly also my job as an old head to give the knowledge that I have back to the young ones and let them know what they can be prepared for, what they can look forward to over here. And that's why I wrote the book. And through the book and also these interviews, I'm really figuring out that guys and also women were just not prepared to come over here. Like they knew nothing. They didn't know the structures in the leagues. They didn't know anything what you should know before you come over here, except I'm going to be making X amount of dollars. That's pretty much all they knew.
Yeah.
Okay, so you now let's talk about Finland. So you signed in Finland where you play for the brother of your current coach, right? You guys have a really good year. You made it to the finals that year, I believe, right?
Yeah, we made it to the finals.
And was it difficult for you then to make the adjustment from playing ball in America and then coming to Finland? And it's a different league, a different game, different style, different lifestyle. Was it difficult for you to adjust to life in Finland and basketball as well?
Man, super difficult. Like like I said, like I was like even prior to that, like I stay on the West Coast now, but I haven't been on the West Coast. It's rare that, you know, a kid from the Midwest be on the West Coast, you know, let alone being in Europe. I didn't know. I was giving out my change to people, like, you know, just keep change and stuff like that, and not knowing that those euros add up. Like they give me like probably like €6, and I'm like, oh, just keep the change, you know. And I'm like, now after I learned, I was like, oh, I need that back. But no, like on the basketball point, like I kept traveling. Like, oh my God, like I kept stepping out of bounds, like. And then Jonas, he had so much patience with me because, like, just my character and, you know, just how well that team meshed. Like, he's telling me, like, shoot the ball, like, shoot. and, you know, and, you know, just being so athletic, you want to just dunk over everybody and stuff like that. But it was difficult, but I adjusted, like, quickly. I say it took me probably about 7-8 games. Like
that's about the curve,
yeah, to adjust and to even like coach just hearing like, I don't care if you miss it or make it, like just shoot it. You know, that gave me confidence to and I shot 40%. I never shot 40%, you know. Like I shot 40% and shooting over 100 threes my rookie year. So I became more of like a player, like how do you guard him? You know, like he's gonna drive. He can go left, he can go right, and he can shoot it. Like, so it was just like one of those things I appreciate from Jonas is like, man, the patience. Like he had patience with me, but I was a sponge. I wanted to learn. Like I wasn't a guy like getting frustrated with the coach because he's saying this or he's trying to change my game. I really wanted to learn because I want to level up every year. And I love practice. Like I don't take days off. Like I prepare practice like games. Like I'm ready to go at my teammates because that's how I'm built. That's how I was taught, you know? So and practices on that team was, man, it was tough. Like you got guys like the Americans we had was Aaron Jones, who was just an athletic five, catch everything. Tobin Carberry, who plays in he plays in Turkey right now, and Jaylen Brown, who plays in Hamburg right now. So we had some nice and then we had Tamu Ranical. He played EuroLeague and he was finishing up like his last few years there. So we had a really dynamic team, and we clicked on all cylinders, and we all meshed well on and off the court. But it really it took me about 6-7 games to kick it in, but off the court it took me about a year and a half. For real.
And so after you move on from Finland, you go to Greece for a year, and then you came to Germany playing for Kreilsheim, where then you started with the brother of
Thomas.
I know your current coach now was the coach at Kreilsheim, right? And there you had a real standout season. I mean, you played really well. So then you get signed by another team in Germany in Ludwigsburg, but explain what happens.
Man, it was against Thomas, and it was against Kreilsheim in preseason. I just went 2 steps. I picked the ball up 2 steps, going into a shooting motion, and just felt my knee gave out. And I was just in denial at first. I was like, oh, I hyperextended it. But then probably about 10 seconds later, I was like, nah, I tore it. This is different. Feeling. I've never been hurt where I had to have surgery ever. So it was I put my mind into rehab mode instantly. Like when I say instantly, I put my mind to rehab mode literally 2 minutes later. Like, oh, I got to get back right.
I'm going to talk about the rehab phase, right?
Yeah.
In a second.
I wasn't down or nothing. I mean, of course you have down days here and there. Of course. But at that moment, I wasn't down on myself. I was like, oh, this is just another rock in the roll, and it's just the uncomfortable grind. That's what I call it. And
we're going to get to that too.
Something that I had to overcome, and I did overcome. So I just thank God for that every day. And I even thank my wife for just being there. Just, she was even I remember telling her, baby, I'll take the trash out. She trying to take the trash out. I just don't like her taking the trash out. I don't like her, doing a lot of heavy lifting and stuff like that. But she really stuck by my side and was really there from the whole thing. And it was just, and she even stayed, because usually she go back. She even stayed the whole time doing my rehab, just helping me out. And that was just a big help for me as well.
So rehab can show the best and the worst of people going through rehab. What was the rehab like for you to be away from the game for so long?
It was tough. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna say rehab was just easy and it was tough. It's mental. Like, everything was 90% mental. Yeah. Like, it was kind of like basketball, 90% mental, 10% physical. So, like, you talking about doing core, learning about stuff that I never knew about my body, learning that you got to have a strong core, and stuff like that, and just learning patience too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was an impatient individual. When it come to basketball, when it come to things that I worked for, I was impatient, and in the rehab process, it was a 1.5-year process, and I took my time too, I didn't rush nothing. I did it, some guys come back after 9 months or whatever. I could have came back after 9 months for sure, but I just took my time. I did the right things. I'm a firm believer in God, so I just depended on my faith all the time, and I just knew that I would overcome it, and I just attacked it, man. Like, I don't know what other way to say it, and I just attacked the rehab every day, every day.
So by you attacking the rehab, that brings me to my next point. Of course, it took a 1.5 years. You said you could have come back sooner, but I'm a firm believer in making sure you listen to your body and not rushing back because you got a long life after basketball and you don't want to
Right.
mess up anything beforehand. So after about a year and a half, you come back, you make a successful return. At that time, your coach has from Krausheim has moved to Telekom Baskets Bonn.
Yeah.
You guys have obviously a very good connection. So last summer you made your comeback, and you're playing for now for your former coach. How important was it for you to prove that you're healthy? And I mean you're playing great right now, so obviously you've done that. But how important was it for you the first couple of games, the first couple of weeks after you returned from injury to prove that you really belong there and you really believed in yourself?
Um, I mean, it was pretty it was how I imagined it. You know, I don't really try to prove other people. I don't try to prove the coach. I don't try to prove teammates. I try to prove myself right at all times because only I know how what I can do. Only I know how I can perform or what I can give. So I proved myself right that I belong in this league still, that I can play with top tier teammates that I have in practice. I can play in the offense that I'm familiar with, and I can play with the defense that I'm familiar with because we play at a high tempo, high
Right,
intense
right.
offense and defense. So I just proved myself right that I can go out there and perform. And I just can't thank Thomas and the coaching staff enough for just not for always just being there. Like, 'cause Thomas was talking to me throughout the whole process. Jonas as well. They were like when it happened, we were in contact like almost every month about just about my process, and even throughout the summer, like we even pick up the contact and stuff like that. Just he's just been genuine and checking up on me and how I'm feeling and stuff like that. So he knew that I was going to make a strong comeback. It was just about a matter of time.
Um,
So, yeah, man. And then my teammates just pushing me too in practice. Like I
mm,
tell them sometimes they're like try to go easy. I'm like, oh no, go hard.
mm.
Like because it's only gonna make me better.
You need to be battle tested.
And that helped me a lot throughout the time that I was preparing to come back. So yeah.
First teammate question from IG Hoops GM. This is your second season with Coach. How is he as a coach, and what makes him special?
Man, his IQ. He has a high IQ, like offensively and defensively. His X's and O's and his crunch time thinking is like always on point. And his character, him as a person, his character is unique. He's a guy that tries to get to know every individual player, and he treats every individual player according to their personality,
Right.
So and that's a difficult, some coaches treat every player how they want, to treat them, but he really takes the time out to do those things. And man, like it's just like him and Thomas and Jonas is just like I just can't ask for two better guys and two better
Mm,
coaches than them two. Like they're awesome, man.
that's good, man. Um, Real offbeat question. Do you still have that NBA dream, or are you ready to, no, I don't want to say ready to give it up, but are you kind of ready to establish yourself over here in Europe as a high level player, or do you still have that NBA dream still stuck in the back of your head?
I mean, it's still there, and only time will tell, and only God knows. I'm gonna continue to pray and put the work in, and I'm continue to establish myself over here. But right now, I'm over here, so that's my focus.
Right.
And if that opportunity comes, I'm gonna be thankful, and I know I deserve it, and I know even if it's a workout, if it's summer league or anything, I know I'll be well deserving of it because of the work I put in, because of the faith I have in myself.
I got a comment here from Hoop Star Kennard. Man, he looks good out there. I love watching him play. Would be great. Would be a great guy to play with on the same team. So that's a guy showing you some love, right?
I appreciate that.
Um, so let's go back to the moving around part. So over the last 10 to 12 years, you've moved, you've packed your bags, you've
Yeah.
been around, you've been moving, right? Um, Is Bonn a place you could see yourself staying longer than one season? And I mean, I know there's many factors involved. There's
Hmm.
not just the money, just how you feel comfortable. And of course,
Right.
you enjoy it with the coaching staff and everything like that, and your teammates, I'm sure. So, is Bonn a place where you could see yourself kind of settling for a little bit and kind of reestablishing your career after the injury and showing everybody you're a top dog?
I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know what the future holds,
Right,
but right now, like, I love it here. You know, like the fans are great. The the management is great. Like obviously the coaches are great. My teammates are great. Like I love it here. So I mean, like only the future will tell where
right.
it takes me and where I will stand within the Bond jersey. So only the future will tell.
I mean, I'm sure the Bond teammates that are watching that right now are happy with hearing you say that you might want to stay here. So, but
Right.
just like I know, man, it's so many factors involved
Yeah.
in that. Um, I've got a teammate question. As a player from Busy on the Beat, as a player with an injury, do you recommend surgery or a Mount Vernon's? I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. Um, But if you can write that question again, so I understand it, maybe I'll get it back in there. I've got another teammate question from Matthew Callahan, 2005.
Mhm.
Which professional season are you the proudest of so far?
The one I'm in right now because of, you know,
The adversity.
the setback that I had. And, you know, a lot of people wrote me off. A lot of people didn't think that I would be the same. I even had um, agents telling me I should settle for a second league job and stuff like that because of the injury. And I just left them on red. Like I just read the message and was like, man, get out of here. You know, I put too much work in, but then you got a guy
Right.
like Thomas here who, you know, who just believed in me from day one. So, I mean, I'm just thankful, man. Like I just this year is my best year yet, man. The year I'm currently in, the present time right now, is the
Right.
best year yet.
Okay, let's go a little bit more on the personal side. You mentioned your wife earlier. You're married since about a year and a half now, right?
Yep, going on 2 years in July.
Um, and she's an actress.
Yep.
So she comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
Is she there right now?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay. Hey, wifey.
She's
Uh,
asleep.
um, how hard is it to maintain a relationship with someone who has to do their own thing? She's got to do her actress stuff, so she's
Mhm.
got to fly back. You're doing your thing. How hard is it to maintain that? And I know you said earlier that she's kind of your rock. She was there for you when
Yeah.
you were injured. Um, how important is that to have someone behind you like that?
I mean, that's my best friend. So, I mean, it's very important because um, she definitely brings a lot to the table that someone wouldn't even think a wife would bring a lot. Like she handles a lot of like my business, a lot of my brand business. She handles a lot of like the logistics when it comes to with me being injured. All the paperwork, that was her. Like she handled all that, you know. So that's definitely important. And then on top of that, she'd be exhausted. She with her acting or working out, and she'd come on, she'd cook me a meal, you know. So I'm just super thankful for that. But as far as like the challenge, it is challenging because she is an actress and she's originally based in LA, but
Mhm.
she's also based out here as well now. So she signed with an agency out here to actually do some work here. So
Ooh,
that's a blessing as well. But it's challenging because we're always on the go, you know,
mhm.
with our careers, and
Right.
and but the good thing about it is that she's here, and
Mhm.
at the moment she's here, you know. So we just try to continue to work on those moments that we are presently with each other, so that when we are far apart away from each other for whatever time frame, we can just cherish the moments like we have now.
Mhm. What's it like for you when she's gone, man? Like then you gotta cook and clean by yourself. You gotta get yourself ready, all the stuff that your wife handles for you. How is it then when she's not there to stay on course and focus on your job?
It's the same, because we're both grounded. We're both grounded in our marriage. We're both, whether one has to go or the other has to go, we're both grounded. So it's not as difficult as far as only time it's difficult is when it gets lengthy and and we just miss each other. That's the only time it's difficult. But man, like I cook. I'm a cook too. I'm a cooker too. So I'll whip up something, even for her at times when she's tired. So that's how we're partners too. So it go hand in hand with how we rely on each other. But man, like I said, like it's I love it. I love it. Like even when we gotta both grind and do our own thing, like I love it. Even when we're together, like I just love it because we're both living out our dreams.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. So it's like a 9 hour time difference when she's back in LA to here. So you guys got to do a lot
tough.
of
Yeah,
you
that's
got to do a
tough
lot of
part.
scheduling to make sure that you stay in touch with each other, right?
Yeah. We actually, but she like it's crazy because so far this is the second season that she'd be here with me for full time. Like last year in Ludwigsburg, she was there full time. This year, she's been here full time. So, and Kraussheim, it was kind of difficult because of the 9 hour difference and stuff like that. So, but I mean, she got it. I'll probably be knocked out, but she'd be texting me and stuff like that, and she'd be on schedule and with all the text messaging with the time difference and stuff like that. She'd do that like clockwork. I don't know how she do that. Like I fall asleep in mid text, and like she do it like clockwork, man. So
Okay. So I know you've got a lot of interest outside of basketball. You've got your website, The Uncomfortable Grind, and that's what I want to talk about right now. Can you explain the meaning behind tug?
Tug is just like tug, like how we played tug of war when we was younger. And it's like you're always just tugging at something. You're tugging at something till you get it, And even when you get it, you still got to tug because you don't want to get content. And tug mean obviously the uncomfortable grind. That's my life, It's my life.
You from Flint, man. You from Flint, so
you
you ain't
know,
had that comfortable life. So I know.
it's my life. So it's like everything. I'm used to uncomfortable circumstances, and I'm also used to coming out of uncomfortable situations. And my wife, she's from Flint too, so that's what make it even better because we both can relate. And that the uncomfortable grind is something that I try to just be. Not so it's not a brand, it's a clothing, it's not just a clothing line or anything. I got
It's
the
your
hat on
life.
right now, so but it's not just a clothing line or anything. It's a way of life. It's
It's your
how
life.
you should approach life, because sometimes life can hit you dead smack in the face, and sometimes you want to just fall over, but you got to keep going, and when you keep going, it just makes you more resilient every time you get back up. So that's how I look at the uncomfortable grind. Right?
Good. I mean, those are. I can really appreciate the word you spoke right there because it's always a grind.
Yeah,
Always. You can never be comfortable.
100%.
So I know you've got the merch. You've got you're able to get booked for motivational
hmm
speaking at different events. Is that something you'd like to do more as you finish up your career, or like are you setting the groundwork for that when you finish your career? Hopefully you'll play another till the wheels fall off. But
Right. Yeah.
of course, it's important to know what you're going to do ahead of time because things can change in an instant. Is that something that you look forward to doing more of?
Yeah, that for sure. Motivational because I've been doing that since I was probably like 19. Like my dad is a minister, so he really put me into that way of life early. He definitely like I come back from college and he had me speak to a group of kids. I speak to a group of kids that's my age. So
Giving back.
he definitely and giving back can be just from word of mouth.
Right.
And he definitely instilled that within me. But as far as like continuing to do it, that's definitely going to be in the works more to continue to do with motivational speaking. But I also want to incorporate that within. I do want to go into coaching after I'm done. So incorporating motivational speaking with coaching and meshing those two together, I think, you know, that would be a world of a difference. Whoever I'm blessed to coach or be whatever organization I'll be able to be a part of to even give back in that sense.
I love that, man. I wish you all the best with continuing in that. I mean, your career anyway, but also in terms of looking forward to what you want to do next after playing. So I've got one more question, a teammate question from Seb Hunzi. When you retire and you look back at your career, what will be the factors that determine the success of your career?
Man, that's a great question.
That's a good question.
I would say just knowing that I didn't give up, knowing that I went out on my own terms, knowing that I didn't force myself or someone whisper in my ear to retire. Just knowing that I had fun playing the game, because I think that's missing in today's game. A lot of guys you see, like, man, he's talented, but why is he in playing? Because of the mental, you know. So just mentally being present, and I just think, you know, just like I said, man, really just having fun while you can do it. Like, and when you're not having fun with it no more, I think, you know, you should go ahead and put it down. But I'm focusing on just continuing to stay healthy, continuing to be a leader, and continuing to just have fun with it.
Good, man. Good. So that's the end of my first session. Now we're going to go in a little bit of old time with the quick questions.
Okay.
This will be to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm interested to hear your opinion on a couple of these questions.
Okay.
So, number one, name your all-time NBA starting five. The positions don't matter.
Okay. Put Steph Curry.
Okay.
At my one. I got. Dang. I got Kobe. Rest in peace.
Gotcha.
At my two. Got KD at my three.
Okay.
I got.
Man, I know you from Michigan, man. I know you from Flint. Go ahead, finish, and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
I got Hakeem at my four.
Gotcha.
No, I'll take that. I got KG at my four.
Okay.
And I got Hakeem at my five.
Okay, man. You are the first person that did not have MJ on the list. And I'm gonna hold that against you because I know you're a Pistons fan and you from Michigan and you just hating on my man MJ.
No, that's he the GOAT.
How you not gonna have him in your starting five?
Kobe, man. Kobe's my GOAT.
Okay, I got you. I feel you. Okay, I can live with that.
That's my MJ.
I can live with that. Okay. Answer this question. The greatest Detroit Piston player of all time is?
Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you. What current NBA player would you compare your game to?
Who? I would say Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
And Andre Iguodala.
No, you get one, man. You don't get two guys. What one player?
Okay, well, I say Kawhi Leonard. I can shoot a little bit better.
I can feel you on that one. I got you. What European team would you pay to see live? You've been over here for a little bit, so you know Euro League and all of that. So what NBA team are you paying? I mean, not NBA team, European team are you paying money to see live?
I pay Barca.
Barca,
yeah.
What's the best thing about being a professional?
You get to wake up every day and just be a professional. It's your job. Yeah. That's the best thing. Like, you know, I mean, you know, some people that played college, you know, that thought they would play professionally, it didn't pan out. But
right.
you just waking up every day knowing I tell my wife I'm about to go to work.
Yeah.
You know, like so,
Yeah.
and it's fun. You know, so
Okay. On the other side, what's the worst thing about being a professional? Or is there something bad about being a professional?
I would say just the nagging injuries, just the
And we,
nag.
we we all get them.
Yeah. So I just say really that because if you're a professional, you blessed to be a professional. Like I said, it's so many guys at home that's sitting at home, you know. So
Right.
Only thing I would say just the nagging injuries.
Yeah, that's the thing that the common fan really doesn't think about because we all play hurt. I mean,
Yeah,
I
for
can't think of
sure.
too many guys that make it through a season that are healthy the whole year.
Nobody
Guys,
is 100%.
no, no. You just learn how to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
You learn how to keep playing, how to push through it. So I think that's what's something that a lot of people don't really realize that
Right.
players really they play 80% sometimes, you know.
That.
Um, so this is a personal question here. I coach two guys on your team. I coach Leon Kratzer and Marek Mboya Katino. I coached both of them when they were young guys. Has either one of them dunked on you in practice? Don't lie, because I'm gonna call them up and ask them.
Never. Never.
Leon never caught you
No,
slipping?
he never got me. Never.
I'm gonna have to verify that. I'm gonna have to hit him up tomorrow and verify that.
Yeah, I ain't got dunked. I haven't got dunked on in practice yet. So I mean, I'll probably catch a couple before the year is over with. So they better watch out for me.
I'm going to tell both of them that there's a bounty on your head, and they got to let me know when they dunk on it.
Right.
All right. The hardest player to guard in the Bundesliga right now for you, the hardest player you have to guard all the time in the Bundesliga.
Hardest player I have to guard. Honestly, I haven't really ran to nobody.
Well, I hope nobody sees this interview because they're going to be going at your head.
I want the smoke. I'm cool with it.
Okay. I'll tell a little story about me. So I tell this story all the time. There's one guy when I was playing in the Bundesliga. There's one guy when I was in Oldenburg that I just could do nothing with. His name was Jason Sasser. He played at Texas Tech.
That
Big.
sounds familiar.
He played a little bit in the league as well. He was a big, strong dude, and I'm like 95 kilos soaking wet, right? So he just one time when we played him in Bamberg, he just dominated me so bad. I think he fouled me out with about I don't know. I might have played like 6 minutes because I was just fouling him every time he touched the ball, and that was just an embarrassment. That's the one guy that I can remember that he just beasted me, and I was just like, I can't do nothing about that. I can't do nothing about
I mean, like, yeah, I haven't ran to nobody like that really just, went at me. Like I just haven't like I would say when I was in Greece, it was hard to guard Nick Kalakis. It was hard to guard him.
He's smart as hell, man.
Because he's a big point guard. Usually if I'm guarding a point guard, they're smaller. So I mean, It was hard to guard him as far as like he still could make those passes.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, in the Bundesliga, I haven't really ran to nobody.
If you could choose one song to play on repeat before a game, what song would it be?
Stuck in the Grind by Nipsey Hussle.
What can you say in German? Kannst du Deutsch sprechen?
I don't know what that means. I only can say Guten Morgen and Danke.
Hey, that's a lot more than a lot of Americans can say. So you on a good way, man. I'm fluent, so I
oh really?
I just wanted to pull your leg right there.
Man, I'm like English, please.
How do you beat homesickness, man?
I don't. I've been traveling. I mean, obviously, I can miss like my mom, dad, my siblings, but I mean, I've been traveling, since I was 17. So,
right. I mean, when you live over here for so long, as far as I'm concerned, I don't miss like America like crazy. I miss things about America. I miss like the customer service, or I miss some food, stuff like that, but I don't really like miss home like that.
Right. Yeah. I like that's how it is here. Like, I just miss like, just walking and hearing the conversation in English. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like I just miss like you said, the food or like, just or the smell, like, oh, I smell America,
And
like
it
just
triggers your memory.
yeah, I miss that. Or even like the using USDs instead of euros because I know exactly how much what I'm spending. You know what I mean?
So, what's a typical game day look like for you from the time you like get up till you drive into the game?
Shoot around, then I come back, I have lunch, I get in my normal tech boots, take a nap in those.
Take
Um,
a nap in the boots.
yeah, probably take like a little 30 minute to an hour nap.
Mhm.
Um, Meditate, have like some meditation music on or something like that.
Okay,
My earpods in.
okay, yoga man.
Yeah, I gotta soothe the mind
Right, right.
and then on my way to the gym I listen to some gospel music or a sermon to get my spiritual,
Hmm.
enhancement, I would call it,
Right.
to go. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. What shoes are you currently playing in?
I'm playing in the leaning Wade all Wade City threes.
Which brand is that?
Leaning Dwayne Wade.
Oh, the Dwayne Wades. Okay,
Yeah, man.
okay.
Because I
Are
had to
they
find a
comfortable?
I had to find a comfortable shoe. So after I tore my ACL,
Uh-huh.
the Kyries I had, they had when I found out they had too much traction. That's why I couldn't even like I stopped on a dime so hard. Like when
Hmm.
I tore it, so I was like, I gotta get some new shoes. So I tried Adidas, and then I kept, having little ankle tweaks there. And man, I tried these lean-ins. I'm good. Like,
Okay,
man, so I've been rocking with them the whole season. So
okay. Cool, man.
I
So,
think
man,
I think I'm gonna try to hit them up for a sponsorship too.
you just gave him some free pubs, so we might have to send this in.
Right. That.
So, all right, man. Oh, wait, I got one more from Brian's on the beat. How did you like Tampa?
Oh, I love Tampa. Tampa is beautiful, man. Like the city, the weather. The only thing I didn't like about Tampa when I was going there to USF was, man, it rains out of nowhere in the summer. Like in the summer, it rains out of nowhere. So I have like on flip flops, shorts, and I'm coming from I had a sign language class, and I had to wait at the building like for an hour because it was raining in July. But the good thing about it, it dries up pretty quick.
Right.
But the best thing about it is going to class with shorts on
Mhm.
around Christmas time.
Mhm. So, man, that's it, man. You hit the shot at the butter, that at the buzzer. That's it for my questions, man. I really appreciate you coming on and giving some insight, man. This is a good interview, man. I
Man,
really
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you for having me, bro.
It's been a pleasure. So, is there anything you want to shout out about your website? Anything you want to pub up while we're here? I'm gonna put everything, links and everything in
Okay.
the description in the YouTube thing. But is there anything you want to pub up right now?
Yeah, like my brand, the Uncomfortable Grind, right here. I got a lot of merch and apparel. So if anybody, you don't even have to shop. You just give it a look and just check it out. It's a dope website. It's called theuncomfortablegrind.com. And yeah, man, and just remember with the uncomfortable grind that is not just about clothes or anything or even just a brand. It's a lifestyle. So I just want to encourage everybody to continue to grind through whatever life has knocked you down with or whatever you're going through. Even if you're a basketball player, young, older, knick-knack injuries you're battling or confidence, just continue to keep going and continue to get through it, continue to go and grind it out because basketball will always repay you with what you put in it. So
Exactly.
just keep going.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that message, and I think the people out there will also appreciate that. Go ahead and get out of here, man. Let me say goodbye to these good folks, and I really appreciate you taking the time out and talking to my teammates and letting them know how a wonderful dude that you are. And
Appreciate it.
you're more than an athlete, man. You're inspiration to a lot of people, not just here, but also back home in Flint, because you know, just like I know, a lot of people didn't make it out. So keep
Most
doing what you're
definitely.
doing, man, and I respect you and keep on keeping on, man.
Most definitely. We'll stay in touch, bro.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
So my teammates out there, that was an interesting show. I was really happy with how that went. So as usual, follow me here on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, where you'll find this interview and all the other interviews from the Eurostep and also from the past guests that I had on the fourth quarter, what I did before. And like usual, if you see some information or you feel that there's something that you could pass on to somebody else that they might help them, then please do so. Every like, every share is appreciated. Um, just want the basketball community to grow and to be more informed. And like my guest just said, he wasn't really prepared for life here in Europe. And I hope that through this through this format, we can bring some light into what it's like to play over here in Europe. My mission is always to give back, give the knowledge that I had and give back. And just like with the book, same name, different game, the Euro step, the fourth quarter, everything I do is geared towards giving back and helping the basketball community. So please share, like, do all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next week or maybe this week if I have another guest. I'll let you know. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you. Old head out.